What's up, everybody? Sitting here at 580 Coffee House and reading some of my material and sending email correspondence to potential clients, and kind of want to communicate to you that danger lurks in the abyss. I say that because, in the business world, we don't associate danger directly to us. We have these competitors and things of that nature that we assume that are indirect, but danger lurks in the abyss. I'll give you an example. I served in the United States Air Force, and I remember in 2010 I deployed to Afghanistan, right? So I get in country and I worked in what's called a Tactical Operations Center, and it's short for TOC. And the TOC was one of the most safest places that you could be in country because it was kind of underground or, concealed, and in it had plasma screens lining the wall. We knew exactly what was going on in country, when it was happening, where it was happening. And we had these funny terms called POO and POI. And POO stands for points of origination, and POI stood for point of impact. And we would come under attack. And when I first got in country, it was no big deal. We would come under attack, and they would fire rockets, at the base in hopes that it would hit and damage something. And we would hear these whistling rockets coming over the base. And in the Tactical Operations Center, we could see the points of origin. We can pinpoint where it came from, and then we can pinpoint also those points of impact, and it would go over the base, and no big deal. You heard a whistling, and it's pretty frightening when you first get in country, but you get used to it a little bit until you're that one that looks up, don't ever do that. But I say that because as time passed, I could watch these screens, and I can see these points of originations, and I can see these points of impacts, and these points of impacts was getting closer and closer and closer. And by the time I was leaving country, they were hitting the base, and it was pretty scary and concerning for the people that were coming to replace me. I knew that I had to be in constant prayer for the people that were replacing me because they were getting closer and closer. And I say that because in business, maybe we have competitors that are indirect competitors. We don't think that they matter. We don't think that they cause threats to our operations. But just like with any product or services, it doesn't matter. People are in duplication mode. They're duplicating what you can do, and they're getting in there, and they're coming closer and closer to becoming who you are. And you got to be careful. You have to devise a strategy or plan to set yourself apart in your industry, and some of us in business don't know how to do that. So I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter what your product and service is today. Those point of impacts are getting closer. So how are you devising a plan to sustain growth? How are you devising a plan to keep your products and services moving and not having to close your doors? Well, that's the uniqueness of my business as a performance coach. I help you build a culture that sustains growth and economic challenges. Okay, I give you, I streamline your message so that you can give it to the end user that needs to hear it. Talk to the consumer directly and meet their needs directly with service. Human assets is what I invest in, and it's what you should invest in too. So I'll give you the competitive advantage to build a solid culture that sustains any type of economic challenge or blast. I'll make sure that your point of impacts stay steer and clear of you because you have set yourself apart in your industry. Don't be the one to continue to look at this problem through your own lens. Enlist the help of outside unbiased opinions so that they can dissect what's going on in your company and build a better future for your employees, because that's the only one true constant in business, and that's the only sustainable growth that you can have is through employee engagement. I hope that made sense to you and made a difference for you. Give me a call. I'm ready and willing to help in any endeavor that I possibly can. Take care.